most school administrators take bullying very seriously because of the emotional and physical harm it can cause kids on campus. But what may be surprising some is that bullying just doesn't stop when you are grown up. I mean, in fact, adult bullying, this is something that I've just found out, can be just as prominent and as damaging among adults. An adult bully is described as someone who makes you feel belittled, humiliated, and oppressed. So ladies, what are your thoughts on adult bullying?
Ooh, I'm sure
So
that
real.
happens. I'm sure it's real. I'm positive it's real, actually. But I think we don't talk about it as adults because it makes you feel maybe weak or ashamed, like it does a kid.
Yeah.
But when I think of adult bullying, I think is someone, it's probably not as blatant as a kid would be, as to pushing you on the yard, as to saying mean things to you. So I'm trying to figure out if I've been bullied myself and what did that look like?
As an adult.
As an adult.
Yeah.
You know, if someone's belittling you, making you feel uncomfortable, I guess
I think
that's a way.
a lot of times too, it could be control. It's about, you know, like maybe a boss can bully you, thinking that, you know, hey, you got to take this anyway.
Right.
So that is probably what anybody that thinks that they have control over you, maybe a live-in partner, maybe if you find yourself where you're not taking care, you know, you have to depend on somebody, then people can tend to bully people that kind of way. That's why I was like, always have your own. I tell people, have your own. Have a plan.
I definitely feel like gaslighting is a form of bullying.
Oh.
Yes.
When somebody constantly just wants to get in a fight with you and you're like, I'm literally agreeing with you, or like that really happens as adults where you can have somebody that's just constantly picking on you in the workplace, in your family. There can be bullies in your family. You're sitting at dinner and you're just sharing your thoughts on something and they're like, well, that's a stupid thought. Well, why do you feel that way? Well, that's ridiculous. Well, and it makes you feel embarrassed.
Makes you feel bad.
And I actually think that adult bullying is way more embarrassing because once you get to a certain place in your life, you think you should be strong enough to defend yourself.
Right.
And yet you find yourself almost feeling like a child, like a wounded child who can't speak up for themselves.
You know what? I had a friend who was bullying me, now that I think about it, but it was on social media. But it was my friend. So you know how you put up a post? And you know, it's maybe funny or something like that? They would always have some comment that was just a negative backhanded compliment or something. And it's just like, you're supposed to be my friend. Why are you now? I gotta erase, you know. Eventually I had to block him because I was just like, I'm tired, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, and so you feel bad because you're like, you don't want to get into, especially online, I don't like getting back and forth. I don't do that. So it's like, why would you put comments like that or something?
If you're my friend.
It's like, because you're not really my friend. But it really does happen, and you have to find a way to control it.
And let's keep it real. Speaking of online and Instagram, with social media, there's tons of adult bullying.
Every day.
All day.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.